All right. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Let's Just Talk with Kim. And of course, I'm Kim. And I am so excited to have you all with me. Listen, if you haven't already, make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you post about it, talk about it, do whatever you need to do so that everybody can get with Let's Just Talk with Kim on Monday nights at 7 p.m. Okay. Listen, I have a phenomenal woman here today. I am so excited because as you know, when we start the year off, we always need to get our life right. And one of the first things one of my mentors always say is you got to get rid of the clutter. Clutter in your life, clutter in your home, clutter in your world. Whatever is cluttering your space, it got to go. So I have the organizer here today, Janet, the organizer. Janet, tell the people all about yourself.
Ah, well, first of all, Kim, thank you so much for having me as a guest this evening. And I am what they call a professional organizer, but I prefer to call myself a life organizer because I
Amen.
help people organize not only their homes, but their offices, their businesses, their time, and of course, their life. And I've been doing this for over 29 years.
Amen. Well, this is my niece. I always got to put my niecey boo up on the screen because listen, she know her auntie will have a fit if she not on. Everybody else get a pass, but her because she my day one. She my day one cheerleader. So yeah, so I am excited to talk about different ways of organizing our life because I'm glad you said that you're a life organizer because people think sometimes it's all about the things, but it isn't. Organized is holistic. You have to have everything in your world organized, not just the things. So can you talk a little bit about how you help your clients?
So I basically kind of go in and do an assessment either on site or virtually. And I
Hmm.
always tell them to allow me to see what their space looks like right now. Because sometimes people feel like they got to clean things up. But I don't want them to do that because I believe in creating systems that work for them and that flow for them. For example, a lot of times now we take our shoes off by the door because we don't
Hmm.
maybe, want to put our slippers on or maybe we have a carpet, etc. So I tell people, why not put a shoe rack by the door? So
Hmm.
therefore, when you come home, you can put your shoes on the shoe rack, put your slippers on, take your shoes off, whatever you want to do. Just some simple systems like that. Or maybe some hooks for your keys. Or, just creating spaces in your closet so, you can find stuff or even your cabinets the first time you look. But really
Right, right, right.
creating a system that really flows with the way you live as
Hmm.
well as work in the office.
Yeah, that is so true because there's people in my life. One will remain nameless, but he always, as soon as I come in the door, take your shoes off, take your shoes off. And one of the things, let me say, for those shoe offer people. Okay. You need to have booties or
Yeah.
something
Well, yeah,
because
yeah.
people don't want to just be taking off their shoes and walking
And
on like you talking about clean, but we don't know how clean you are. So
that
we
is
don't
true.
want to be walking around your floors because some of us, like myself, sometimes don't have on socks.
That's
And I don't
true.
want to be walking on your floors in my
And that's
bare feet.
and
And
that's true.
others, yeah, just have some booties. You can get socks
And that is
from the
true. That's
dollar
true.
store.
And a lot of people they do have those little baskets by the front door
Hmm.
with either socks or booties. Or one time I went to someone's house and they had like a variety of slippers right there in the basket by the door.
Uh-huh. Right, exactly. Because it's just a convenience when you want someone to care for your home like that. You should also care about their feet.
And that is so
Feet is
true.
a big deal. Nobody want no athlete's foot or anything that you might got going on that's specially for you. So, and I'm a feet person, so I
Hmm.
get it, but then I don't because I like to protect mine. I don't know who been running up in your house.
And that's true. That is so true. That is so
But
true.
that's an awesome idea to have a foot rack, I mean, a shoe rack at the door because it also keeps it. Because I've seen people who do it and it'll be piles of shoes at the door.
Hmm.
And it's so
Hmm.
junky.
Mm-hmm.
People, it's junky. I'm going to tell you, it's
Mm-hmm.
junky,
Yeah. And then
and get
sometimes
rid
you're
of it.
tripping, you can't find the shoe, you're trying to rush out the house. That way, when you come home, you can just sit both the matching pair right there.
Because you'll have everything, and like you said, for your own comfort, your slippers is right there. That
That's
is
true.
so neat.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. I have to think about that. Can we do that?
Or if you know, sometimes you can, and then sometimes I suggest it to someone who's moving into a new space that they can actually put it in their closet at the bottom of the
Oh yeah,
closet.
yeah, because it's right there. You got to look
Yep.
at what's
Mm-hmm.
near your door to make it more
Mm-hmm.
feasible.
Mm-hmm.
Great idea. Great. What other things, like when you talk about life organization, I think that is key, very key. And like the simplest thing that somebody said, they don't even understand why I do it. But at times, I even go through my phone and
Mm-hmm.
get rid of those folk
Mm-hmm.
that I don't even remember why I have you in my phone,
Mm-hmm.
and I
Mm-hmm.
will delete.
Mm-hmm.
And I was surprised one time not too long ago, a friend of mine texted me and we hadn't talked in years. And I was surprised that you were still in my phone.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get rid of
Yeah. And that's part of it too. It's like that digital clutter. It's the phones. It's, sometimes we create documents on our
you.
laptop and we create it really quick and then we need to really organize it. So if it's important, we need to be able to find it the first time. But
Right.
sometimes you just save it and then the next thing you know you need it and you're really searching and then you're wasting your time and your energy. But I think in regards to just the life organizing, it's really, looking at all the things that you have to manage. Like, for example, all the information, your banking information, maybe you've got educational information, and of course, those important documents like your insurance policies. Everybody should have a will, and I'm just throwing it out there. But
Yes,
those
Lord.
types of documents, and that's really a lot of times what I help clients with is making sure not only do they have those documents, but they also have them organized and accessible should they need them.
And that's something because I actually, I care for my elderly parents, and I know
Mhm.
they probably don't want me to say elderly, but they old folk, and we gonna just be real.
Mhm.
So one of the things that I was looking into for them, as well as for myself, was one of those life organizers, so that in an event something will happen to you, where's all your important papers?
Mhm.
How do people access it? And one of the things I even thought, like, I have a safe in my room. Like, who has the safe combination? Like, I need
Mhm.
to have someone who I
Mhm.
trust that has the safe combination, because
Mhm.
then you can't get to none of my important papers.
Yep, and that is so true. And now a lot of people are actually doing digital, so then they have digital vaults where you can still have your
Mm,
physical papers and your safe, but
hmm
also having a digital vault online. So in the event somebody needs to access something, for example, my best friend is in another state. So
hmm
therefore, if she has to access any of my important papers, she doesn't necessarily have to come to my physical location. She can
Right.
just go to my online vault and find all the documents that she needs should she ever have to access them.
That is a good idea. That is such a wonderful idea, and I'm glad you brought that to my remembrance, because of the fact I remember I have Dropbox. Dropbox has a vault, and I never really understood what would I use that for. Now
Mhm.
I get it.
Mhm. Yeah. And
Now
also
I
and
get
just
it.
making sure, yeah, and making sure that it's safe and it's got that, security, etc. Because those are your important documents.
Hmm
I mean, of course, like your will and your insurance policies, and if you want to have like a copy or just information about all the different passwords and all of that, because it's important because if anything happens to us, it's not necessarily dying, but just, maybe you're in another country and somebody needs to take care of
Right.
some business for you. So you need to have that.
Somebody
They
has
need to
to
have it.
gain access to it.
That's
Yeah,
right.
because I was actually just tonight, not that I don't know if it would apply, but I was developing a trust.
Mm,
And one of the things they said was that who would be the trustee over the trust, so
mm,
that in an event something was to occur, Someone would need to make decisions and handle things for you. And of course, this needs to be someone that you sincerely trust.
And that's true.
Um, and I like the fact that it even trumps some stuff, like because it makes sure that everything is happening in accordance that it would. Because sometimes you have like a power of attorney, and you have a and other people who might know what they think you want, but your trustee, you have it all written out, and they handle everything for you. So like it even gives that extra security.
And that is so true. That is so true. But I also wanted to share, with those watching, a few statistics about organizing. 80% of the stuff we keep, we never reference again. And we wear 20% of our clothes 80% of the time. And I'll just let you just kind of let that settle and marinate.
You
Yes,
need to say that again, because my sister friends, I need y'all to hear that.
it says 80% of the stuff we keep, we never reference again. And we were 20% of our clothes 80% of the time. You had the favorite jacket, the favorite shoes, the favorite jeans, the favorite earrings, the pocketbook, the purse, the tote you take every
Right.
single day. Now you have others which you don't always use, and sometimes you may use it once, twice a year. But according to the statistics, 20% of our clothes we wear 80% of the time.
Jesus. And I had to find another way of saying that because I'm trying to watch my words.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we tend to be women tend
Mm-hmm.
to be no, what's a good word? I don't want to say something bad. They tend to just have so much stuff. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'll say. They
Mm-hmm.
tend to have so many clothes, so much jewelry, so much everything that they don't even get an opportunity to wear these things. And then, like, because I mean, bless the Lord, oh my soul, and all that is within me. I bless His holy and matchless name. Why? Because my sister friends be giving me stuff, and the stuff have tags on it. Bless the name of the Lord, oh my soul, and all. Come on now. But case in
Mm-hmm.
point, they have
Mm-hmm.
so much stuff
Mm-hmm.
that they buy stuff that they don't get an opportunity to wear.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's that. And that happens to a lot of people. And it's because,
Hmm.
and there's like a few reasons why we tend to hold on to stuff. Of course, everybody's probably heard of the hoarding of the shows
Yes, that's what I
and
was
things
thinking
like
of.
that. And and there's reasons behind it. Sometimes people they find that grow up in a certain type of era are hoarders. Because
Hmm.
of lacks of things, but also sometimes people go through things and they hoard. So that's one reason. But then there's also the deferring and delaying of decisions. I will open
Mm.
mail tomorrow. I will read a newspaper tomorrow. I will do something, at another date. But really, every day has 24 hours. And then there's the perfectionism. And perfectionism, people want things to look perfect. I
Right,
will organize this space when I have the slim hangers, I have this, that, and the other. And I always tell people, when you are really thinking about getting organized, purge first and then you purchase. Get rid of what you need.
right,
And then the last reason we hold on to stuff is sentimental. It may bring up a good memory or remind us of someone, and we just don't want to let it go. So those are like
right.
generally the majority of reasons why we hold on to stuff.
Yeah, I am not that person.
And that's good.
Because yeah, it is a good thing, but then sometimes it can't be, because then I'll think of something and be like, oh, I don't have that anymore. But I give away. I never like throw stuff out that's worth re-wearing. Anything that isn't goes straight to the trash. And that's something to say, listen, y'all, if you don't want to wear it, don't give it away. If
That's
you
true.
feel that it is worth wearing, give it away,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we tend to give away the wrong things. But
And that's true.
I do a purge all the time, to the point now I don't purge. Well, we had a fire, so I don't purge as much as I used to.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm not using something, it got to go.
And
If
that
I
is,
ain't wore this, I
yeah.
can't. Because
And that
I'm
is
not
true.
that person that
Mm-hmm.
has many outfits and will wear things over and over.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it'll go 2 months before I wore something.
Mhm.
I'm not that person.
Mhm.
I wear what I wear, and what I don't, I get rid of because you're taking up space.
Mhm. And there's so many things that we have that we can just donate. For example, recently I got rid of a lot of sheets and I donated them to the animal shelter because they
Mm,
need them to line the cages.
didn't even think of that. Look at
Yeah,
there.
so there's so many different things that we have. We can just like you said, clothes. A lot of
Mhm.
people, we have houseware stuff that is
Mhm.
stuck in a cabinet somewhere and somebody else could actually use it and benefit from it.
Right.
Donate it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just gonna say it. But my mama, she used to be a hoarder. She isn't anymore because of the fire of 2017.
Okay.
But we had a whole room and closet of stuff that she kept saying she gonna give to somebody, and it never made it. And it's a shame that it did burn because it was all good stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but we couldn't salvage most of the stuff. And you tend to hold on too long. So you need to really get rid of it. See, my niece is even saying, yes. You hear that? I know my mom watching. Yes, yes, yes. Because it was like a whole room. And then it was things that she made us look for to see if we could find it. So we in that room diving in to find
Mm,
something.
okay.
But yeah, because you it's always an opportunity to be a blessing, and I think we should definitely keep that in mind. But go ahead. I love that where you gave us some knowledge about we only wear 20% of our clothes. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. And then if we reduce our clutter, we could really reduce the amount of housework of up to 40%. So what I'm saying is you get rid of this stuff, you can reduce your housework, the housework you have.
40%.
Up to 40%, you can reduce your housework. Because you are taking time and energy dusting and cleaning and just, spring cleaning about to start for me in 2 weeks. Wonderful. Yay. But yeah.
Wow, that's
Hmm.
something to really strongly consider
Hmm. Hmm.
about clutter. That
Yeah.
it 40%, that's major. For us who don't like to clean,
Yeah.
that's major,
Yeah.
major.
Yeah,
Like,
because you have less to dust, less to maintain, less to keep clean, less to do this, that, and the other. Go down the list.
yeah, because that's what I need,
Yeah.
less when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that just blew me away.
Yeah.
40%. You hear that,
Hmm.
mama? 40%.
Up to
And
40%.
she
Yeah.
and she was just asking me about a house clean. Now we're not rich. But
Oh,
it's
yes.
me and the two olders.
Hmm.
So we at times we need to pull someone in.
I
And now
understand.
my daddy was all the one that was doing most of the cleaning. Now
Hmm. Hmm.
he's in the hospital, and when he come back, he can't be doing that
Hmm.
stuff. So
Hmm.
she was just saying to me, so does your friend still?
But you know what? That's part of living a life that is organized, is knowing when, it's time for me to do some delegating so I can,
Hmm.
focus my time and energy over here while somebody else takes care of that.
Yes, time management.
It's part of time management because I know someone, she's a single mom and she decided it was more important for her to invest in having somebody come in and clean so she could spend more time with her child.
Right, right. And
So,
I can see that because
yeah.
when my son was young, it was football, basketball. Like I
Mhm.
had to pull him from baseball because between basketball and football, we was just it was too much.
Mhm.
So spring had to be mine. So
Mhm.
he had to give up baseball. But
Okay.
you're running, and then if you have an overly active kid who does community and school and other things, like it's just a lot.
Mhm.
So yeah, getting extra help, there's no shame in it. Women to
Mm-mm.
do
No,
it.
no. And then I have a couple more tips I wanted to give you on time. And this is regarding planning. They found that if you take 15 minutes in planning the night before, you can save yourself an hour the next day. So that 15 minutes could be in just planning out what you're going to wear, maybe your lunch, maybe you have an idea of what your dinner is going to be like, laying your clothes out, making sure your shoes are laid out, they both match. Just just I've heard people put on shoes and then they get to work and they're not
Yeah,
matching.
yeah, 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 yeah.
But just doing some of those things, so that 15 minutes can save you an hour. But then on the
Mm,
longer scale is if you take an hour in planning, it could save you 3 to 4 in execution. So on bigger project, like it could be an organizing project that you want to take on, just sit down and plan it first before you go and dive in. But then
right.
also maybe, one of the things I do is I plan my week. So every like maybe Thursday or Friday, I plan my coming week so that I know, my work schedule, but then I also know, well, what day am I going to do grocery shopping? What day am I going to do laundry? What day am I going to do, my cleaning? So that way I feel like I'm getting everything done,
Right.
but, I know when everything is and everything's planned out. And I don't feel like I'm overwhelmed either.
Mhm, mhm. That's good. Definitely for time management of planning out your day before
Mm-hmm.
even the day come.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you do it the day of, you losing time already.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good. That's something I learned as well from my mentor about planning what you do. I'm not very good at that, but I know that it's fact.
Mm-hmm.
But especially with clothes, but it doesn't for me, which I know they say to take more time off. But the problem with me is if I think about what I'm gonna wear the night before, I end up changing the morning of.
Okay.
Because that's one of the most, if my friends are on here, they'll agree. That's my biggest problem with traveling, even if it's like a weekend kind of thing. I need multiple outfits because once I get somewhere, I'll say, I don't want to wear that. And if I only bring that, now I'm stuck with that. And that's not what
Mm.
I feel like.
Okay. Interesting.
Oh my God, Lisa is on here. She told me some Ava. That's one of my roadies. She know. They be like, Kim, why do you have so much stuff? Because I can't make up my mind what I'm going to wear. And I'll also end up changing. Like I'll have a thought and then
Mm-hmm.
and I know myself. I can't
Mm-hmm.
stick to the one outfit that I
Mm-hmm.
think I'm going to wear because sometimes my mood will change and I don't feel like all of that. I
Mm-hmm.
might have wanted to be glammed up. Now I want to be
Interesting.
glammed down.
But there are benefits. Well, I mean, there are benefits, and I think I learned something about myself because I was at a place one time where I was like in between. I moved out one place, my new place wasn't ready, so I was in that in between. I had to put stuff in storage, and I literally lived out of 2 suitcases for about a couple of months. And that made me realize I was able to work, have fun, and go out with just these
Hmm.
clothes that I had. So I'm okay, and maybe I need to downsize. So sometimes it's moments like that that make you think, yeah, I don't need all this stuff. And plus,
Hmm.
a lot of things match now. And I'm getting to that place where I like to wear the same colors because things match. I do get some
Right.
colors, and I gotta have my colors, but most of them everything matches. So but I tell people when it comes to organizing, it's not necessarily about being a getting rid of everything. It's just
Hmm.
being able to feel comfortable in your space, being able to find things the first time you look. That's what it really is. And it's not about the way a space looks, it's just about the way a space functions.
Yeah, Lisa is saying, yes, I've experienced that too when I moved in with my mom. Yeah, because sometimes it's just so much that you don't want to have. And especially now, me living with my parents, I basically live out of a room, which is fine because
Mhm.
this is their place.
Mhm.
So I have a room and it can get a little messy over time. However, then I get into the thing where I'm throwing out all this stuff because now and then there's just a couple of boxes that I'm about to go rip through and it's because
Yay.
I need the space because I want to bring my chair, and then I need to get through my storage because I've been here too long to still have a storage.
Yeah, and that's when you start looking at how much you pay every month and how many years it's been in there. But a lot of time that stuff in storage is it's almost like out of sight, out of mind. And like
Right.
you said, you know that you've been, living where you are now, and that stuff has been in storage. And, have you thought about it? Have you missed it? You might not even remember some of the stuff until you really start going through it. Because
And to
I've
be
had,
honest, the only thing I want to keep is my paintings.
and there you go.
Everything else is it could
Yeah,
go.
that's
My
wonderful.
paintings and my chair
That's
is
wonderful.
my favorite chair, and then
Yeah.
everything else I can even sell if somebody willing to buy it.
Yeah. And then just think about the money that'll be in your pocket every month.
Right, right, exactly. That's the biggest issue
That's the motivation.
because
That's
it
a
has changed.
motivation.
It's changed so much since the time I first did that transfer because
Hmm.
listen, I can't. I'm really wasting money at this point, and I
Hmm.
need to organize my life. My niece needs your help.
See, I like to buy more stuff when I don't. Well, so you know what? My suggestion to you, she said, I don't wash my clothes, but that's what I do. I make sure I schedule time to wash my clothes. Now, I don't have the same day every week, but I look
Mhm.
at and see how it works in my schedule. The same with the grocery shopping
Right.
because I still do grocery shopping. But yeah, and then
Yeah, because
actually,
you must.
yeah, and then actually a friend who, because of her job, she was always traveling, and she still does, and the clothes would pile up. And she said, she said, I'm driving home and I saw a place that does laundry that's within my budget. She said, I got that situation solved. So again,
Mm,
sometimes, yes, it's important for us to schedule and do things, but also if you can, sometimes it's good to delegate it and just allow somebody else to do it so you can be free to do whatever you need to do.
right, right. That's some good points. All right, come on, give us some more juice. Give us some more juice. More juice.
Well, I mean, we already talked about storage. We talked about time. Okay, so in regards to paperwork, we kind of touched on it. Go as paperless as you feel comfortable.
Hmm.
Because you really want to try to reduce it. And also, the IRS does have a record keeping booklet that you can, just download, and it'll
Hmm.
tell you how long you need to keep information. Now, of course, if you
Okay.
have somebody to do your taxes, you just ask them, what do I need to keep? Because that's what I do every year. Right around tax time, I'm like, okay, what can I get rid of now?
Right,
Because I
right.
keep getting rid of stuff. And of course, with software and scanners and things, you really don't need to keep physical copies of your tax returns. You can just kind of have them upload them, and have them so that if you need to, you can always make a copy.
Hmm. Hmm.
But get rid of stuff. I didn't see that one, but get rid of
It
stuff.
came up. I'm sorry.
OMG paperwork, I have a lot. But yeah, just to, just figure out how much information do I need? And also even have your own retention schedule. Like sometimes people feel comfortable once they pay a bill, if they still get a physical bill, they just get rid of it. Now I would suggest you shred it, but I still have pay stubs from my first job and I was 13 years old. Okay. All right. So,
You just embarrassed the family, Sharita. You just embarrassed the family.
well,
Just want you to know.
I would suggest to everybody watching to start looking for shredding events. They're free shredding events across the
Mm,
city. They're wonderful. I love it because basically you take your stuff there and within seconds it is gone. But if you do decide you want to buy a shredder, get one that does like what they call micro cut, because
mm,
micro cut is basically almost like confetti. You don't want it to get it in strips because people will go through your trash or your shredding. I mean, not your shredding, of your recycling and put stuff together. So you want
mm.
micro cut. But figure out what your retention schedule needs to be. Every family needs one. For example, once you buy groceries, you consume them. And if the receipt is not a tax deduction, do you really need to keep that receipt? We got everything in a filing cabinet. Good. That's great.
That's
But
a great thing, but if a fire happens, is it resistant?
yeah. And also things also between your safe and your filing cabinet should not only be fireproof, it should be waterproof.
Yes.
Yeah, that's something that my attorney told me. But and for example, maybe you go and take money out the ATM or go to one of these little places and get something, and within months that receipt is nothing but a piece of paper because all the ink has disappeared. Do you need to keep those things?
Right.
And like
Right.
somebody shared, they have those pay stubs. Once you get that W-2, do you really need to keep those pay stubs? Because as long as everything matches up, then you should be okay. But
This is
again,
why she does it. I just like to see how much money I was making. But do you know, 13, it doesn't matter.
ooh, and everybody has to be at a comfortable space because a couple
Right.
years ago, I got rid of all my report cards because I'm thinking, why am I holding on to my report card from third grade? If somebody comes up and says, "Well, Janet, I need to know what your grades were in the third grade," I don't like why. So I got rid of him, and I felt good
Right.
because it was like I felt wonderful. I got good grades, but I still felt good because it was like less paperwork that I had to hold on to.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And nowadays, like you said, becoming digital is a saver. And that from when we started with the Palm, the handheld,
Oh yeah, the palm. I remember though.
that released me. I mean, I felt seen. I felt that somebody finally heard my cry because I'm a digital person.
Mhm,
Like, I
mhm,
can't keep
mhm,
up with papers.
mhm,
Not at all. If you want me to keep up with papers, I'm not going to be able to find it. So for me, being digital is the only way to go. And I'm very good at filing. Sometimes I think I'm OCD on filing because I'm so strategic with the filing cabinet. And it could just be for one thing, but I need a file folder so I can find where the one thing is if I forget what I called it.
mhm. And then also in regards to like home offices, always try to. They say you should only really have like a couple years worth of files in your filing cabinet because sometimes what that filing cabinet becomes is like an archive, and then you've got
Mm,
10, 20, 30 years worth of information. So just kind of and make sure that you have times like we go through our closet seasonally. Why not go through your filing cabinet and your paperwork at least once a year when you have to do taxes? That's a good time to really kind of get rid of what you don't need to make room for what you do need and to also make
mhm.
room for the new year as well.
Right,
And
right.
the same thing with things in our homes because a lot of people do the seasonal. My best friend, she changes her decor every season. So there may be seasons where you have things and you realize, I didn't use it last season, I didn't use it the season before that. Then donate those items like you were saying earlier.
Yeah, I'm a very adamant encourager of donate.
Hmm.
Donate the things that's worth donating. Those things that you have that you don't wear. That it doesn't necessarily need to have the tag on it, but you only wore it a few times and it's sitting down.
Hmm.
Like when a coat drive, not too long ago, a coat drive happened and I donated my coats. Why? Because I don't wear coats. I just have my snow coat. So I wear a coat when it just snows and it's below 32. So why do I need a bunch of coats that
Hmm.
I don't care to wear, I don't want to wear, so I might as well get rid of them.
Yeah, and I did the same thing with scarves. It was like I got all these scarves. I don't really need all these scarves, so I
Mhm.
donated them. You're right,
Yeah, because there's people out there that need it. They
and that
definitely
is so
need
true.
it.
Hmm.
And then
Hmm.
with paperwork, Elisa, she said she keeps it for 3 years. One of the things too about harboring paperwork, because I think I don't know if this is the word for it, but I
Hmm.
feel like it's paper mites.
Oh yeah.
Because
Hmm.
when I
Hmm.
go into paper, some old paper, it makes me itch like
Hmm.
terrible.
Oh yeah. Hmm.
So when
Hmm.
you hold on to a whole bunch of paper, Sharita, Sade, Jones, uh, you're harvesting bugs.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like little paper mites. Yeah.
Right,
Mhm.
exactly. So
Mhm.
think about that. That's why you need to rotate. It's
Mhm.
always a year falling off when a new year coming in. So
And that
you
is so
need to
true.
get it. Yeah, you need to get rid of your paperwork. We want to be
Mhm.
better stewards of our space. We want to
Mhm.
be better stewards of our mind, get to
Mhm.
release that clutter. Do you have
Mhm.
any recommendation? She said, don't I have to. I have to. Who else am I going to call out? Do you like? I know you're not a psychiatrist or anything like that, but sometimes we become cluttered even in our minds where we get so much fishing around in there that it just becomes too much. And I think one of the things that you mentioned is great for that. And I don't know if you have any other helpful tips when you talked about planning
Mhm.
planning for the day ahead because that helps you. I would imagine it helps you release some of that clutter in your
Mhm.
mind of the
Mhm.
things you need to do.
And then sometimes doing what they call a brain dump, like when you have so many different things going on in your mind, is just taking a blank piece of paper and just writing all that stuff down, because sometimes you're trying to remember everything, and sometimes
Hmm.
that can even kind of keep you up at night. And it's just basically just writing it down and then looking at it, and then maybe just further organizing it from that. Because what I do that just kind of helps me is, like, I have a whiteboard. I have actually two whiteboards with all of the things that I need. Like, I have one whiteboard, which is all of my, appointments and trainings that I have to do,
Hmm.
because I have to organize those. But then also I have another whiteboard that just has my goals. But I also realize, Kim, that, even though I have a digital calendar, I
Hmm.
needed a planner. I
Mm.
really went back to the physical planner, because what the
Wow.
planner allows me to do is it allows me to write the things that I want to get accomplished during the day. Now, I'm not going to say I get accomplished, I cross everything off my list, but
Hmm.
most of the days I do. But at least it helps me stay focused. Like, sometimes when I'm trying to I get off focus like everybody else. It's like, okay, I need to get these three things done, because I have more than enough time in the day to do it. But also, in regards to time, and I just thought about this, is whenever you have to do something new,
Hmm.
usually most of the task and things, we already kind of know, oh, it's going to take me 30 minutes, it might take me this. But if it's something new, always double the time. And the reason, somebody says she loves her planner. So the reason they say that, so say for example, you're doing something for the first time, you think, oh, you know what, it's only going to take me 15 minutes.
Mm.
But if you plan for 30, and maybe it takes you 20 minutes, at least you've got 10 minutes and you'll feel okay. But if you plan for 15 and it takes you 20, 25, or maybe 30 minutes, you're going to feel a little frustrated, a little anxious, because it's kind of, maybe bump into something else you're going to have to do. So always remember that. And just regarding the time management as well. That's right, double the time. Especially if something you don't know. Most of the stuff sometimes like laundry, yeah, I know it's gonna take me boom boom this amount of time. But then there's things you gotta do, you know, there used to be a time when you could, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go in and out of the store. Well, sometimes you go in the store and then you're thinking, okay, they changed the layout on me. That's number one. And then you go in there and and maybe it's just me, Kim. You go in there knowing you just want one item, you just want some bread, and all of a sudden you say, "Wait a minute, was there a sale? Was there a rush on
Right, right.
bread that I didn't know about?" Okay, so you don't have bread, so that means I got to go someplace else because I need some bread.
So now your time has increased. Oh
Yeah, your
my
time
gosh.
is increased. It's like, oh, this little 15-minute thing, but wait a minute. Now I need bread. I can't go home without any bread. So now I'm gonna have to go over there. So sometimes you just have to take that into consideration as well.
Yeah, yeah, that is so true. Because I love the double the time on the things that you think may not take you so long, because then it gets you kind of off track. And one of the things that I do to help me with that, because again, I'm very electronic, is I set reminders at specific times during the day so that I know that I have to do things. And I will even do it based off of the item.
Hmm.
So, like, I handle my mother's and my parents' medication, so I
Mm-hmm.
handle the renewal time.
Mm-hmm.
So if everything is being renewed around a certain time, then I will put all of those medications like in the midpoint area, and so I can call them in all at the same time. So, and I set that date and time reminder on what would my day. I kind of predict what my day might look like
Okay.
to so that I'll say, okay, let's do it at this time. That'll probably be the best time that I can get that done. So or I'll put it if I have deadlines, I'll set it for like say if something needed to be done on the 20th, then I will set it for the 15th with a note at the top saying due on the 20th. So that
Mm.
it gives me that extra 5 days in case
Mm-hmm.
I get caught up and be like, nah, I'm not doing that right now. And then it's
Mm.
staying the best thing about the Apple phone, it stays on your notifications until
Mm-hmm.
you complete it.
That's true. That is so true. That's a
So I,
wonderful
I
tip.
kind of yeah, I work the system. I work this baby.
I do
It got
too.
to work for me.
That's the truth. That's how I feel too. I said I invested too much in you that for you not to work for me. And you're so right about that. You're so right about that.
Yeah, because I need all the help I can get. Because
Mm-hmm.
me and my
Mm-hmm.
memory, I can't. And the next thing you know, I'll forget. If I had a physical planner now, I done forgot the planner. So I don't even know what I'm supposed to do today.
But you know what I did? I realized I don't have to take my physical planner out my house
Oh, okay.
because I've got my schedule. The
Oh,
physical
okay.
planner is just to kind of keep me on track of stuff when I'm working here. Because usually once I
Oh,
leave the house, I already know kind of what I need to do. But
okay.
another tip, which everybody may not agree with this, but you really, when you're thinking about stuff and clutter and reducing, you don't necessarily need two of everything. And let me
Mm,
explain. So I understand, you might have different types of tools, different types of scissors because you're a crafter, but do you need like five of this exact same scissors? Do you? I mean,
mm,
sometimes you have to ask yourself. I mean, I can understand you want a couple of pairs. Hey, I have a couple of pairs of scissors. I have a pair here in my office area, but I also have
mm-hmm.
a pair in the where my kitchen is. And that's understandable. But do you need like five of the same thing? So sometimes
Right,
just, also, when you bring something in your house, let go of something. Think of something you can let go of. You bring in a pair of slippers, or I mean, not slippers, shoes. Somebody said that's me. When you,
probably the multiple things.
because then that's less you have to maintain. And just
Right.
because you see an empty space, in our minds, sometimes it makes us feel like, you know what, I need to fill it with something. Because if you think
Mm,
about when you moved in that first apartment home, you had all that space. You maybe had moved in with a lamp, a chair, and a table. But then you start acquiring things. And next thing you know, it feels like the walls are coming in and you're thinking, okay, I need a bigger space. Not necessarily. Sometimes you just need to let go of stuff you need to get rid of. And also
right.
look at your space. A lot of people, they have, high ceilings, or sometimes I tell people look at multifunctional furniture. I went over a
Mm,
friend's house. She this beautiful coffee table, patent leather. She said it also is a stool, but then it's also she took the top off. It was also storage. So sometimes
wow.
it's looking for things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, sometimes those awkward corners where things sometimes they get kind of stuck in the back, and before you know it, you're cleaning your pantry out, and you realize, ooh, this should have been gone a while ago. I won't say how long,
Mm-hmm.
but a
Mm-hmm.
while. You use things like lazy susans, and lazy susans can be used all over the house, the bathroom, the kitchen, the garage, wherever you want, just so it'll make it a lot easier to find things.
Right, right,
So those
right,
are just like a few little things, that'll kind of help you. And also, the simplest way to really stay organized is when you take something out, you put it back.
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
Wait, what? She said 20 flat irons, 5 hair dryers, and 10 clippers.
oh, she could,
Lisa.
she could,
Boo
she could, she could,
boo.
she could, she got a salon.
She might as well just open up the shop. Let people rent chairs. That's
I mean,
what you
I can
need to do.
understand now. I can understand, even though I got this thing going on my hair, but I do have two sets. Like I have a set of regular size flat irons,
Hmm.
and then the little tiny little ones. I don't even know why they're supposed to be travel, but really, so so I can understand that. But maybe it's time for her to downsize because she need
Mm.
all of because then that'll be. I mean, if she can just envision what her space would look like if she got rid of at least half of that,
Yeah, yeah,
how much
yeah.
space she would open up. And I
Mhm,
think
mhm.
sometimes if we just visualize what our space would look like, that can sometimes be a motivation for us as well, just to kind of get rid of stuff. And I always tell people, when you are thinking of organizing your space, and you may have like, well, Janet, I need to organize my entire space. Is what space is causing you the most stress? Is it when you come home and you just see all the piles in the living room? Or is it when you go in your bedroom and you feel like you can't even get a good night's sleep because you got to push stuff to the side, etc. So sometimes it's looking at that, and that'll give you the priority of where you need to focus first. And I think that
Yeah.
everybody should have a clutter free bedroom because that'll allow you to rest better, that'll allow you to recharge, and it'll just give you a really nice place to, when you wake up in the morning, you're not surrounded by clutter and piles and stuff. And then when you return after working hard all day, you can come to a place that's really nice and just, very peaceful.
Yeah, that's a big thing for me because my side of my bed is my everything. Because that one side, I'm single, so it's just that one side that's empty. And I literally only take up the space I'm laying on. Not that all that is full, it's just that that's all I do. Like, it's so bad that one time we were on a girls' trip and Lisa had to keep checking if I was breathing because I have asthma and I had a little
Okay.
asthma issue.
Okay.
But she was like, "Girl, you lay like you in a coffin. You don't move." So for me, it just don't even bother me because I'm in this little space. And the most I do now because of the hip issues is I flip over.
Okay.
That's it. That's it. I do not take up like if anyone with me would have like we split in the room. You got the whole bed, baby, because you will never know I'm there. You will never know I'm there because I don't move. So it's just that's just me. But I do need to work on that because I do keep my laptop on there. So for my shows, if I'm doing stuff, if I got to do things for my parents,
Okay.
whatever, I'm in the prayer ministry. If I
Okay.
have, I'm in two different prayer ministries.
Okay.
So if I have to do stuff with that, so it's like just hands on. I can just easily get to my laptop
Okay.
or just whatever. Whatever I need is always on out there. But I do know that is a problem.
Okay. Okay.
But I don't know why we don't have over the bed shelves. I'm
No,
just saying.
no, we don't, because the bedroom, you need a place to recharge. You need a place to relax. You need a place to sometimes just recoup. And plus, the bedroom can be just a place where you could just really think, and it'll clutter free. I mean, one of the things that I vowed for this year is I'm not going to just put stuff down, because sometimes you just like put the keys here, you put this there. No, where do you go? Because it's only going to take a few seconds for me to put something away. And one of the things I enjoy is when I wake up and I look at my dresser and there's nothing on there except for maybe a few perfume bottles and a couple of other things, but none of that other little stuff that I would always just like put there because, oh, I wanted the convenient. No, you're going in the bathroom, you're going in the drawer. That's just me, because I really, and I say that is because a lot of us, specifically women, we are
Mhm,
constantly giving to other people. We're giving and
mhm.
giving and give, and we really just need a place where we can just kind of just give to ourselves in the morning, and just a place of peace, because you're doing your prayer, your meditation. You got to get yourself ready,
Right.
because I know once I open, even though I'm single, but I know once I open
Mhm.
my bedroom door, then it's either email, it's texts, it's this, that, and the other.
Yes, everything.
So you just need a
Everything.
place. You need your space.
Yeah, and my even though I do work
Hmm.
in my bedroom, it is also my sanctuary.
Good. Good.
It is my place. Like
Good.
even I tell my parents all the time, this is my room. My dad believes it's not my room because it's his house, but no, it is. It's my room. This is my private space. Get out. Do not come in. Do not enter. Turn around. Leave me alone. Your only time is in the morning. My hours are before 9 a.m.
Uh,
This is my solitude. It's from the time I wake up until 9 a.m. After that, you cannot disturb. You only get that block of time. That's it. Okay, so my Anissa asked the question. She had made a statement. She has so many cups. Her hubby keeps telling her to stop buying them, but she likes um, to drink different stuff out of different cups. Wine, coffee, juice, water. But how many wine cups or glasses do you need? How many coffee mugs do you need? How many glasses do you need? That's the issue. You
hmm.
can have a cup for everything,
Oh
but
yeah.
you don't need 10 cups
Hmm.
for
Yeah.
one thing.
Yeah.
So that's what gets you caught up.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's it. And I'm not even like that idea about the shoe rack. I think that's something that every woman should have because I know most women have a lot of shoes. I don't. That's just me. I don't subscribe to that because I don't know. Probably because I used to have a foot issue,
Okay.
and
Okay.
now I got that cleared up. But now,
Wonderful.
yeah, who wants to try the whole stiletto shoe thing
Oh no,
now?
I'm not. Yeah. Yeah. That.
Now it's like,
Oh yeah.
because first of all, I got to stay on my feet no matter what happens.
That's true. That is true. That.
But
Yeah.
that's a great idea. Like they have so many different
Yeah.
shoe compartments. Like one of my girlfriends, she lives in South Carolina now. She has like these little clear containers
Hmm.
in her guest room so that she can see her shoes
Yep.
that she wants to put on. So she don't even have
Hmm.
to go through the boxes and they kind of pull out like drawers. So she gets to
Hmm.
see each of her shoes and she is so proud of that. Like she is so
Hmm.
excited about that. And her other
Hmm.
place, in her condo, she had like a large wall closet. It went to wall to
Hmm.
wall. So
Hmm.
the shoes were all stacked up in there. I don't know how it is in her new place, but yeah, she was like, Kim, you gotta see this.
But it does get you exciting. I mean, especially when you design the closet you want and you've always dreamed of. And like you said, there's so many different ways to organize shoes. Slim hangers are in, but of course, if you don't have slim hangers, the regular hangers are just fine. I went through several different ways of organizing my jewelry. I mean, I had a jewelry box, but then things got a little too big. So then I got the cute little bag that looks like a dress and hung it in my
Hmm.
closet. That didn't work. So now I just have nice little velvet trays that I put my jewelry in. And I
Mm,
like that. It is in a drawer and fine. So and
that's a
and
good idea.
and just know that you will go through different phases of organizing. You go through a phase when you're 20 or 30s, 40s, 50s and beyond.
Hmm.
Every time you go through a phase in life, you're going to want to change the way you organize things.
Yeah, because when it comes to jewelry, that's my fetish. I love jewelry. I love unique jewelry. So those little unique pieces tend to add up after a while. And
Mhm. Mhm.
sometimes I'm more of a bold statement.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
now I have a standing jewelry box that I
Ooh,
can't close all the way, but it still works.
and that's
So,
fine.
yeah.
That's fine.
And it has a mirror on the front, so I get
Mhm.
to see what I'm putting on, how it look with my
Oh,
outfit, and
that's
it helps
good.
me with
Oh,
dressing. So
that's
it's a dual purpose thing.
and that's important. That's
Yeah.
important.
So for organizing, I get two for one.
Mhm. Mhm.
So yeah, I definitely I love that because it has like the hooks for the bracelets, the earrings. It has the little velvet rolls for the other things that
Mhm.
like your rings and things. So it's so multifaceted that I can have so much in there. It's just that really only reason why it doesn't close is because I have a lot of bold jewelry. So
Yeah.
it can't
Mhm.
close due to that. But oh,
Mhm.
Lisa, she says she has one too. Yeah, don't you love it, girl? It's my best friend. It's my best friend. I love that piece because I need it. I got too much stuff. And like one time, my nieces were over, my great nieces were over here, and one of them, she loved the jewelry, and she went in and she took the wrong piece, first of all. So she ended up getting a little, in trouble for that one. But I was like, girl, all you had to do is ask,
Mhm.
"Hey, here, do you want this?
Mhm. That's
Do you
true.
want
Yeah.
this? Here you go. You
Mhm.
can have
Mhm.
this."
Mhm.
So I'm not one that just keep it. I will definitely give it away, but and it's some things that I said that I'm gonna go through and say, I'm just gonna get rid of these pieces and then keep the other stuff. So the ones I really really love, so I can start over again. Because right now I'm on a hold with jewelry unless someone gifts me.
Mhm.
But I have so much at this point that I don't wear it all, which we were talking about before.
Mhm.
But I do want to get I still want some more because I realized not just with this piece, because I have a lot of this shirt.
Mhm.
I have a lot of things that would go well with blue, but then I
Okay.
realized I don't have blue jewelry.
Mm.
And I've needed blue jewelry a couple of times, and I don't have anything cute blue. So now I got to
Okay.
find something blue. So I got to get rid of some stuff so I can
Mhm.
put some more stuff.
That's right. That's
And I'm
that's
not
the whole
high
thing.
price stuff either. I go in the middle, in
Mhm.
between. If I can find it for a good price,
Oh yeah, I'm the same way.
but I just thank you so much for coming. We are about to hit the hour.
Okay.
You told us some great facts, some great tips. You were a pleasure to have on the Let's Just Talk with Kim podcast. And
Thank
I
you.
bless, hopefully we can bring you back because I'm sure you have so many things that you can discuss with us. Because you are, listen, you that one, you that entrepreneur, that power chick, you black excellence. I'm on that
Thank
right
you.
now. Black excellence.
Thank you.
So if you want, you can go ahead and share with the people how they can get in touch with you and follow you and get some good tips. I'm sure you're throwing them out there left and right.
So you can follow me on social media. I am Janet the Organizer on Instagram as well as TikTok. And then, of course, you can follow me on Facebook as well. I'm Janet M. Taylor Biz on Facebook. And if you follow me, then every Tuesday you'll see my Toss It Tuesday tip. So I look
Mm,
forward for you following me. Yes,
Toss
Toss
it
It Tuesday.
Tuesday.
That's right.
Oh
Toss it Tuesday.
man.
Toss it. And I actually have a private Facebook group, if I have time, private Facebook
Mhm.
group. It's called Living Life Totally Organized. And we are doing a 31-day declutter challenge. Every single day for the month. For the month of March, we are doing a declutter challenge, which means every single day I'm gonna pop something that you need to tackle on that
Mhm.
day. So we're ready. We're getting geared up for that. So I'm
Oh
excited.
wow. How do people get in connect with you for the private group? Is that through your website?
You can actually, if you want, if you either DM me on either Facebook or on Instagram, I will send you the link for that.
Awesome. All
Mhm.
right, y'all. Y'all really want to get your lives together and declutter. It's a 31-day challenge. You better act
31,
like you know.
31
You
days. Yep.
yeah, listen, and she'll be throwing you what you need to do because sometimes that's just the thing where we don't know where to start. It's so
Hmm.
much that we don't know where to start.
It's
She's
little
going to help
things.
you
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
little things you can do every day. And I mean, and some people have already tackled those areas. It's fine. Maybe you see it and you can say, well, I got to get back to it, but it'll be 31 days.
Excellent, excellent. Well, Janet, the organizer, I am so blessed to have you here. I thank God for you, and I definitely bless prosperity and increase and overflow that God overtakes you in everything that you want to do in your life, and that He does according to what your deepest desire is,
Okay.
not anything less, just everything in abundance. So thank you, thank you,
Thank you.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
And
I
remember,
received that.
y'all, hey, come on now. Like, share, comment, whatever you want to do. Just make sure you get it out and know I will be back next week on Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you know what to do. Make sure you put that alert button on. See you next week.